Cake, and I'm coming to you with an update. I am about 14 months and 1 week post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery. I feel like once you get past a year, only the bigger milestones matter as far as how many months post-op you are, but that's approximately where I'm at. I had surgery January 26, 2017 in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am 5'4" and a half. I am 32 years old. I will be 33 in June. My highest weight was almost 300 pounds. It was about 296 was my highest recorded weight. When I started the process for weight loss surgery, I was in the 260s. I had to do a 3-month supervised diet and a 10-day 1,000-calorie diet. Prior to surgery, my surgery weight was 234, and today I am 155.8, I believe. So around, I think, where I was last weekend. I did see 154 point something this week, and then, I was up again the next day. It just depends on what I eat. I feel like the things that really affect my weight on a day-to-day basis, and I think these things are normal, are what did I eat that day? Did I exercise? Am I retaining water? And have I used the bathroom? Sorry, a little fuzz or something. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe there was a fuzzy in my hair. It's kind of driving me crazy. Anyway, so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm okay with where I'm at. I did get a little more exercise this week than I have been getting. Did my little morning routine, and I did go for a walk one day this week. This week was pretty stressful again. I'll just go ahead and give you an update on the car situation. We did not have a car on Monday, and so a coworker of mine was kind enough to take myself and my husband to work, and then she also took me home after work, so that was incredibly wonderful of her. We were waiting for some money in the mail, some help from family for a down payment, because the insurance only gave us $644, which when you don't have good credit, that's not going to get you a car, whether you try and buy one outright or whether you're trying to put a down payment on a car. So yeah, it wasn't enough. We did get some help, which we are incredibly grateful for, because we wouldn't, I don't know when we would have been able to get into a car. And it is expensive to get around when you don't have a car. I mean, you think that having a car is expensive, between car payments and insurance and gas. When you don't have a car and you don't live close enough to your job, it can be expensive, whether you're trying to take public transit or Uber or Lyft, or if you're giving gas money to people to take you, carpooling. Well, I mean, I guess if you don't have a car, you're not really carpooling, are you? I don't know. Anyway, all of these things can get incredibly expensive very quickly. So Tuesday we did get a car. It's the car that we've been wanting. It's a Honda Element. It's a 2008, and we love it. We love him. We're really, really excited and happy to have found something. The only issue is that we got him Tuesday, and then Thursday night I ran to Target, and on my way back the check engine light came on. And in Utah, they don't have like lemon laws or anything like that. It's a buyer beware. You're buying a vehicle as is, you know, unless you have a warranty. The place that we got it through didn't offer any financing or warranties. It was just kind of a smaller dealership. And yeah, so it's been quite the ordeal. We ran the code and it turns out it was an oxygen sensor, an issue with an oxygen sensor. And so we did just a lot of calling around to find out what we could do about it. And we did talk to the state, and it's just a huge ordeal. We want to keep our Element. We love the Element. He drives really well. He's big, spacious, roomy, like he's everything that we've been wanting in a vehicle. And what ended up happening is we took him to we took him to a Honda dealership and had him checked out. They actually did like a free inspection, and then they found out that there were some recalls that hadn't been taken care of. And so they took care of those for free. They were regarding the airbags. So that was all taken care of. They told us that the issue with the oxygen sensor and some other things that our vehicle wouldn't have passed in emissions. In Salt Lake County, I don't know if it's the whole state of Utah now, but you don't have to have yearly safety anymore, which is... I have mixed feelings on this. Being somebody that doesn't have a whole lot of money, this can be really important when you can't fix certain things, like, you know, like registration time comes around and, you know, you have a cracked windshield, which is super common in Utah because trucks like fling up little rocks and hit your windshield, and then when it gets warm, then the windshields crack. Warm or cold? I think it's warm. Anyway, the windshields crack, and it's quite expensive to fix windshields, especially, you know, like with our insurance, we have Geico, and they, like, the deductible's like $500, so it's like you're basically just going to be paying out of pocket for a new windshield. So anyway, they don't have yearly safety inspection requirements anymore, so for people that don't have a lot of money, this can be really helpful, but at the same time, it means a lot more unsafe vehicles are driving on the road, and we already have a problem with a lot of accidents here. Our freeways are garbage. There are literally accidents every single day, and they delay traffic a crazy amount. So yeah, the driving situation in Utah is terrible. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but it's terrible. Utah drivers are terrible. Yes, I am a Utah driver. Am I terrible? Yeah, sometimes I'm not like the best driver in the world. But I definitely would say that I am better than at least half of the other drivers in this city. So yeah, anyway, roads are terrible. The laws here are terrible in so many aspects. Like I've said before, don't move to Utah. You know, if you even ever consider moving to Utah, then I'd probably go St. George, which is southern Utah. If you want to live in the cold, you could go up to like Logan. We went there recently when we were looking for vehicles, and it was pretty decent. It's like the cold weather version of St. George. So it's in northern Utah, close to the border of Idaho. So yeah, but really, overall, I would just not move here. As soon as we can get out, we will be moving to Arizona. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, we got the airbag things fixed with Element, and the light turned off. The check engine light turned off. No, I don't think that they turned it off, because my husband tried to reset it and it wouldn't reset, and it was still on when we left the dealership, but it ended up turning off. So I told my husband, Well, maybe, because I feel like things have souls, like cars have souls. You know, they are beings, so to speak. And so I was like, maybe he just wanted us to get, you know, these airbags fixed so that if we get in an accident, we don't die. So that's where we're at right now. Just hoping that he'll continue to drive well. You know, my husband did want to go with a Honda, specifically with an Element, because most of the things that typically could go wrong are things that he can fix and aren't super expensive fixes. Like we do also have a Mazda 3, which I love, but the transmission went out and we have not been able to afford to fix that. And so unfortunately she is just sitting right now. Eventually we will get her fixed up and I'll be driving her. I'm definitely used to driving a more, like a car with more get up and go. You know, I had a Mustang for a few years. That was really fun. But yeah, got a few speeding tickets in that. We'll just say that. But then we got the Mazda 3, and she also has a lot of get up and go. But then yeah, we're having transmission issues, and it's just not an easy fix. And yeah, and then we had our Scion, and I drove him a little too hard. That's not obviously why we don't have him anymore. Somebody hit us, and it ended up, somebody hit us when he was parked in front of our apartment. But yeah, I mean, ultimately it ended up working out better for us, but I'm still sad that that's how things had to happen, because he was a really good vehicle, and he went through a lot, and not just because of me, but he went through a lot during the time that we had him, and he was definitely part of the family. And so it was sad to see that happen to him and see him go that way, you know, being sold to auction and whatnot. And I just really hope that somebody will get him and fix him up and drive him again. So that's where we're at. It's just been a very, very, very stressful last little while. We also have some things like going on that I'm not going to talk about because they're really personal, but so yeah, we just have we've had a whole lot of shit going on, and just ready for things to be calmer and easier for a bit. The other great thing about our Element is it's $140 less a month. Same year as our Scion, but we went through our bank and for financing, which we didn't think we were going to get approved for, and we did end up getting approved. Very, very gratefully, you know, that, and then the help from family, we were able to make this happen, and it's just amazing. We don't have a whole lot of family, at least not close to us, and we don't have a whole lot of people that we are close to, and the people that we keep close to us have really been there for us a lot. And so we are very fortunate in that aspect to have some really wonderful people in our lives. So even though it's not a lot of people that we have, we do have some wonderful people in our lives. So yeah, I mean, I would consider my immediate family to be my husband and my son, obviously, and also my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law and my grandmother. Those are the people that are in my immediate family. I mean, normally immediate family is parents and brother and sister, or, you know, it might be, you know, spouse and children, but all of those people are the family that we're closest to and that have been there for us on many occasions. So Anyway, that's what's going on in our lives right now. Should hopefully be seeing a little bit of money in the next month or so, which will be nice because we struggle. It's really expensive to live in Salt Lake City, and even though I make, you know, pretty good money, like for what I do, and you know, I don't have a degree and everything, I make pretty good money, but it's just really been hard for us. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to things hopefully being a little easier for us. That's the hope. You know, it's always high hopes, low expectations, because we've just been through a lot of shit. So anyway, enough on that. Since you're probably here watching my videos, maybe at least some of you, to hear about like what's going on weight loss wise, the only things that I really wanted to mention are, so when I was first out from surgery, I would watch other people's videos, and I would, you know, I was judgmental, and I don't feel good about that. But I would watch people that were a lot further out than me, and I would think like, I can't believe that they're eating that. I can't believe they're able to eat all of that, you know, and just like judging their food choices, and you know, maybe their exercise choices. Not so much exercise, because as much as I haven't done like a crazy amount of exercise since surgery. I definitely exercise and am more active than I ever was before. But I'm also not somebody that's going to the gym, you know, at all. Like if I'm gonna exercise, it's gonna be, you know, walking, or, you know, working with my kettlebell and doing, you know, just exercises at home and stuff like that. But yeah, food choices definitely, you know, because when you're first out from surgery, you can barely eat anything, and your stomach's so small, and you get so full so easily, and you're trying to follow all the guidelines, and it's a lot easier to do. Alright guys, I've tried to film this second part a few times now. The lighting isn't very good in here, but my husband needed to use the bathroom, so I'm in our room and the lighting isn't good. So I definitely look kind of scary at the moment. I'm super pale, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm really pale, and I've got some bright makeup and some purple hair. So this lighting doesn't do anything good for me. Anyway, but what I was talking about is that I was very judgmental when I was first new out from surgery, because some of the people whose videos I was watching, you know, they were eating a lot of things that I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be eating that, or, you know, oh, you're eating, like, you can eat way more than me. I don't think I'll ever be able to eat that much food. Yes, you can eat that much food when you're further out. And yes, it is still a significant decrease from what I used to be able to eat. But you can eat a lot more. You know, I can probably, depending on what it is, I can eat upwards of like 8 ounces. Now, I wouldn't be able to eat like 8 ounces of just meat necessarily, but 8 ounces of ice cream, no problem. So yeah. Anyway, I was judgmental, and I shouldn't have been, and it's just something to keep in mind. You know, if you're newer out, your experience is going to be different than anybody else's videos that you watch. You may have similarities, but you're gonna have differences as well, and this is gonna be all your own. But just keep in mind, like, you will be able to eat a lot more when you're further out from surgery, and you may eat things that you wouldn't have eaten in the beginning, because in the beginning, like, you want to be really careful, and you want to just follow what your surgeon's office says for the most part, and then you kind of get into the groove of things. And now, to me, for the most part, it feels like I have a normal stomach. I can eat anything basically without it really upsetting me, you know, and I can eat a lot more of it. And so, you know, I shouldn't have been that way, and I just, ask that, like, you think about those things before you judge other people and what they're eating. That their experience is going to be different than yours, and things do change over a year, 2 years, 3 years, and so on. Things will change. You know, it's important in that first year to build good and healthy habits, and I definitely am more active than I ever was before surgery, and the majority of what I eat is much healthier than what I would say everything that I eat now is much healthier than what I used to eat. I mean, by far. My diet consists of meats, cheese, yogurt, nuts, eggs, and protein bars, protein shakes, and I need to work on the vegetable thing. I'm gonna start eating green beans at least this week. Yeah, that's not like a crazy great difference, but it is a step in the right direction. And also more fruit rather than things like chips and stuff like that. I don't eat chips a lot. I don't eat chips or popcorn a lot because I'm like way more a sweets person, so I'm way more apt to eat like more like protein bars or just straight candy and stuff like that than I will eating chips or popcorn or things of that nature. But yeah, I want to incorporate more vegetables, but that is the majority of what I eat. And then yes, I do eat dessert almost every night, like basically every night. But like last night I was not feeling well and I went to bed early and I didn't eat dessert, but I did eat some like leftover cookie dough, because I think I've talked about this before, but we have a place nearby us that does edible cookie dough, and we go there like maybe once or twice a month, my husband and I, to get a treat, and we usually get like 2 servings of treats, although sometimes it lasts us longer than 2 sittings. But we went there and they have this protein dough which is really tasty. It's peanut butter flavored, and I think it's got chia seeds in it. I haven't looked up the stats. It's cookie dough. I know it's not healthy, but I would say that the protein dough is probably going to be a little better of an option than some other options that they have, because at least it has some protein in it. And I try to like get in as much protein as I can and balance out the things that I eat. But yeah, with my lunch, I ate the rest of my protein dough. So, but other than that, like, and I'm not going to say that those are the only sweets that I ate yesterday, because that's not the case. They were having like kind of an Easter thing at work, and so my supervisor brought us, cupcakes and candy, and for me, like, I love cupcakes, but now instead of eating the whole cupcake, I usually eat the frosting off of it, because for me that's the best part. Like for my husband, that's gross and he would much rather have the cake part of it, but I'm like a frosting girl, so I'll eat the frosting off of it, and then I'll eat a little bit of the cupcake. But yeah, I'm definitely more apt to eat the icing. So that's what I did with the cupcake, and then I ate about 5 like Whopper eggs, because she made these little like plastic flute type things. I think that's what they're called, with like some fake Easter grass stuff and the Whoppers, and then a cupcake on top. It was cute. I had that, and then they did like turkey sandwiches for lunch. I just ate the turkey with that, with some mustard, and then I grabbed a cupcake, a chocolate cupcake. Yes, my second cupcake. I only had I had a little taste of the frosting. I didn't think it was that great, so I had another little bit of the frosting, and then I just threw the rest away, and then I ate the rest of my protein dough. So that's how I handle celebrations, in case you're wondering. Some people are able to just like bypass that stuff. Good for you. Like, it's awesome that you can do that. For me, I'm just like, okay, I am gonna eat this, but this is how I'm going to modify this. Or sometimes maybe I'm just like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna eat the whole cupcake today. And that's okay. You know, eating a cupcake, eating a donut, eating 3 donuts, which I don't do in one sitting because I can't physically do that, but eating 3 donuts in one weekend is not gonna make you gain 5 or 10 pounds generally, or anything like that. You know, your weight may be up the next day, but as long as you're a little more active and you eat a little better the next day, usually that works out for me. You do what's right for you. I'm not gonna apologize for doing what works for me. You know, I'm like nearly half of the size that I was at one point. I am down like 80 pounds from surgery, and you know, over 140 pounds down from my highest weight. So for me, like, I'm okay with where I'm at. You know, I exercise some, I eat, you know, probably like between 60 and 75% stuff that's really good for me, and you know, the other not so good for me. And like I said, there are certain things that I want to work on. Like, I want to work on eating more vegetables and more fruit, because, you know, like I said, my diet mostly consists of protein and a little bit of carbs, and definitely a good amount of, or more than a good amount of sweets. I'm not gonna say a bad amount or whatever. I know that I have like an issue with eating sweets. I'm aware of that. I'm doing the best I can with it. Yes, those are the things that I eat when I'm having a harder time. Yeah, I know it's something that I have to work on. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to cut them out completely, because for me, that's not the way that I want to live my life. You know, I want to eat the things that I want to be able to eat. I also want to eat, you know, and included in things that I want to eat are things that are good for me and healthy for me. So I want to eat good and healthy things, and I want to eat like shit food too. I do. I want to live a life where there is donuts and bacon cheeseburgers. I'm okay with that life. And I want to live a life where I exercise a little more than I'm exercising now. You know, I can't wait until we're in a warmer climate, because Utah fucking sucks. I know that that's going to help, but in the meantime, I still get in exercise where I can, and I'm still more active and have more energy than I ever did in the past. So that's where I'm at. I guess just to sum up everything that I'm saying right now, just be careful with like your judgments, especially when you're early on from surgery, because you aren't like every other person. You know, like, it's great to find similarities, but there's a lot of differences too. You know, how my body works is different from how your body works, and the foods that I have issues with are going to be different than the foods you have issues with, and the healthy things that I do are going to be different from the healthy things that you do. For me, like, the best thing to do is find a balance of all of these things, and like, that's how I've been able to maintain my weight within 5 pounds for the last several months. And I feel pretty good at where I'm at. Just in case you're newer, and don't know, I mean, like, I'm wearing between a small and like a medium shirt. I do have some larges that I'm still able to wear. They're not like crazy big on me or anything, but I like my shirts fitted, and I'm probably about a size medium. But I do have smalls that I wear that I like. Pants wise, I wear between a 2 and a 4. Bra size right now, I'm like a 36 to a 38 D or double D. Which is down from what I was before surgery. I was like a 46 triple D before surgery. And so I'm okay with where I'm at. I definitely like have kind of a chubby, thin body right now, and I definitely still have a belly. Eventually, I'd like to get rid of that. I won't be able to get rid of that by just losing weight. I'm going to have skin removal surgery to get rid of it. But I don't hate the body that I'm in. I'm a lot happier with the body that I'm in than I used to be. I'm healthier. You know, I was pre-diabetic and I'm not anymore. And I had high blood pressure and I don't anymore. And just overall, like, I'm a lot healthier and I'm a lot happier than I ever was in the past. So I'm happy that I had surgery, and no, I don't think I'm failing because I don't eat the way that every other person eats. You really have to find a way that works for you. And it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. But I'm just saying, like, for your own sake, because I regret being judgmental, you know, because I hate being a hypocrite. I fucking hate it. But I am a hypocrite sometimes. I think we all have times where we're hypocrites or judgmental. Just realize that things change, and hi. I guess that's all I really have right now. So I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching.